So here's my 03 Altima 2.5S that I recently bought, which I like a lot, except for the fact that there's been a ton of recalls, and then actually after getting online I found out about one significant problem that in my opinion must be taken care of if you're going to have this car. So I'll show you guys what it's all about. This is the stock header slash Precat that comes on the Altima. This here, you'll see, looks like somewhat like a typical header that you may be familiar with. And then this here is what they call the Precat, which is actually a catalytic converter built in right past the header, and then there's another catalytic converter further down the exhaust line. Needless to say, this causes a lot of problems. So if you look online, look up a Precat problem and you'll find it. But let me show you here. Inside this thing, you'll see that screen you can just very faintly see. Held within that is the material for the Precat. There's screen on both sides. The problem being those screens can give way, causing a major problem. Main problem is the screen that's on this side. It's very hot coming out of the motor into this, and it can degrade the screen right here. It can give way, and then all this shit inside here can get sucked up into your motor, so you go from having a beautiful motor to consuming tons of oil in one day, motor running $3,000 down the drain. So let me show you under the hood what I did after I got this to rectify this problem. Okay, so let's take a look under the hood. Right here is my new header. As you'll see, this up here kind of looks the same, although this is built much nicer. When you get this, it will be chrome. I got this off eBay. You can check the description for a link to the seller. Down here, there is no Precat oxygen sensor, the first one, and then right here is a second oxygen sensor. What you'll have to do so you don't throw the check engine light, this right here is actually the oxygen sensor. This right here is something that's been screwed in that essentially, instead of screwing the oxygen sensor straight into the header, you put this spacer in and it creates about an inch gap. The guy off eBay that I got it from sent this with it, but you'll have to get this spacer. And what it does is it sets that O2 sensor back and keeps it from throwing the code. Now, this isn't a problem, it'll still pass an emissions test because you have the catalytic converter further back, so there's no really screwing the environment over here or anything like that. This car's actually passed an emissions test. Anyway, the new header here, so what you get is you get peace of mind. You don't have to worry about that Precat on the normal one failing and running your motor. Not to mention this looks much better. And it's going to give you around 20 horse. I'd say definitely 15. You notice a ton of difference. I didn't do this for power. I did it for peace of mind, but nevertheless you get a little more power out of the deal too. So, there you go. Ultimate Precat. Pretty easy to install. It took me about 2.5 hours to get the install done. If you have the 2.5 model on these cars, especially the 01, 02, 03 model, I would change it. So anyway, thanks for visiting my channel. Cheers.